Hello and welcome to ThriftCart. In this video, I want to show you how to handle the situation where a cash drawer was recorded for an incorrect amount and what to look for in reports to see if more than one hand count was recorded in any given drawer profile for the same day. So we're going to use this nifty thrifty cash drawer here, nifty number one cash drawer ID for today's example. Current balance is $275.73 after having rang up a sale today. At the end of the day, you can count down the cash either from the register profile or from the cash drawers page like we are on right now. I'm going to go ahead and click on record actual balance and then key in here, let's say 180.75, and notice there's a large discrepancy here, $94. But I'm just going to go ahead and proceed and record now. So at this point, the drawer balance has been reset to 100 and that hand count is recorded. Let's say the cashier completed this hand count, but then realized that they had failed to include the $100 that the drawer starts off with in their hand count, and that's why there was such a large discrepancy. They were under by almost $100. In your daily summary report here, if you look at the cash drawer report, you can see this hand count and the fact that it was under by about $100. Now let's say that the cashier, after they recorded this drawer balance, realized that they failed to include that $100 beginning balance in their hand count, and that's why they were nearly $100 under. They might be tempted to go record a second hand count to try and correct this, but that does not actually fix the issue. Once that original hand count has been recorded, it has reset that drawer balance back to $100, and going and re-adding the hand count would only create issues in the report. It would not fix the situation. So the proper thing to do, if they realize they made a mistake, is to make a note of it for the manager or for your finance team to let them know that there was indeed another $100 in the drawer that they failed to count, but to not actually record that anywhere in ThriftCart. You should only record one hand count, even if it was an incorrect hand count. Just record the one hand count in ThriftCart. Let me show you what happens if you record that second hand count. So let's say we record the drawer balance again here on the same day. This time we include that $100 starting balance. And so our hand count this time is 280.75. Notice though that the drawer has been reset to 100. And so now when I record the second hand count, it's going to record a $180.75 over amount. So the drawer is still reset to 100, not a problem there. But in my reports, instead of correcting the report, notice that now in the over-under amount, it says that $180 over. Now, in case a situation like this happens, where there's more than one hand count in a drawer for a day, notice this blue box that shows up for that drawer, and it reports how many hand counts have been recorded that day. So in this case, 2 hand counts on this date. Click here for details. If I click there, I can see the user and the timestamp here. So the first count was recorded at 5:16, the next one at 5:19. The first one was recorded for 180.75, the second one for 280.75. So I do have the details here, but notice that that over-under amount is reporting only that final hand count minus what the drawer balance was before doing the hand count, and it had already been reset to 100. And so now it's reporting $180 over amount. Also, the reported deposit is the hand count, which is only the final hand count, minus the starting balance. So that reported deposit amount is only taking into account the second hand count. Now let me show you something to be aware of to potentially detect theft at your cash register. And you might uncover this by noticing that there is more than one hand count being reported. So notice that every time I've reported a hand count, it's reset the balance for me. So what a cashier might do if they're trying to steal some money is to ring up some sales for the day and pocket that money, but record a hand count so that it resets the drawer back to $100. And then ring up some additional sales. So let me go ahead and ring up another sale here in the drawer. We'll say this is a $200 item. Customer paid with cash and donated some. And now I'm going to record this hand count. Again, I'm going to record this for the exact amount, so 334.30. And that results in no discrepancy here because the drawer was reset midday back to 100. And I'm just recording the cash that was rang up since that last hand count. And the drawer is reset back to $100. So now let's go take a look at the reporting and how you might detect this situation happening. So notice in the daily summary report, in the cash drawer table down here, initially it looks like there's no problem with cash as the over and under amount is reported as exact. But notice that this is just the last hand count, 334.30, minus the final balance before that hand count. But what you want to pay attention to is how many hand counts were reported in that drawer on that day. There should always only be one. So here I see that there were 3 hand counts recorded on the day. I go ahead and click on that to see the details, and I see that there was $180 recording, a $280, and then that final 334.30. And the over and under amount here is only reporting on that final hand count, $334.30. Also, the deposit amount is only reporting the final hand count minus the starting balance. So if there was indeed another $180.75 in the drawer earlier today, that's not being taken into account here in either this over-under column or in the deposit amount. But I can see an issue because there was more than one hand count recorded in the day. If I wanted to go ahead and drill into more detail regarding these hand counts, I can navigate over here to point of sale and inventory, cash drawers, and then click on view history for that drawer. So here we have cash drawer Nifty Thrifty or Nifty 1. Click on view history. Each hand count is shown in red, and I can see the 3 hand counts for today. 1230, 1230, and 1230. And for each one of these, I can see the discrepancy for that individual count and if there should have been any money deposited from that hand count. And so on the first hand count, looks like it was short by $94, and there was an expected deposit of $80. The next hand count was over by 180, and also expected a deposit there of $180 and some change. And then that final hand count was right on with an expected deposit of $234.30. And so this would probably be cause for concern, or at least for talking with the cashier to see why was there more than one hand count and what happened to this other money earlier in the day when the drawer was reset back to $100 earlier in the day, and there had already been at least one sale rang up that day. Where did that money end up? If you have any questions, please let us know.